What I didn't know was that my husband had already secretly installed 100 cameras in our home just to expose my true face, then divorce me and take full custody of our son so he could have a normal childhood. The whole house had been prepped. By the show crew, everything would be streamed live to the audience, waiting to see this washed-up celebrity make a fool of herself, but they didn't know. I had already lived this life once before, and my parenting philosophy had completely changed. So I told my son to quit all his extra classes, then pulled out my phone and teamed up with him to play video games. My husband watched with confusion. Viewers instantly accused me of being irresponsible, saying I was ruining my child with games. But in my husband's anger, there was a faint glimmer of relief in his eyes. In my previous life, I wanted my son to succeed so badly, I forced him to study non-stop and didn't allow a single mistake. He grew up under unbearable pressure until one day he developed schizophrenia at a young age. My husband blamed me and left with our son. I spent decades searching for them, learning every possible skill, building a billion-dollar empire, just to find where they had gone. But at an art exhibition, I learned from my husband that our son had taken his own life because of his illness. Faced with his accusation, I was consumed by guilt and ended my own life. Then I opened my eyes again and found myself back 30 years ago. I swore I would never repeat that tragedy, but at the same time, my husband secretly signed us up for a reality show called Mom Evolution, just to humiliate me and win custody of our son in the divorce. Without telling me, he filled the house with hidden cameras. People everywhere were curious how a celebrity mom raised her child. He waited eagerly for me to mess up, convinced that my crazy parenting style would help him get what he wanted. Then the show officially began. Our home appeared on the big screen, and what I did next left everyone in shock. I actually threw away my son's violin and told him he couldn't keep learning like this. My son stared blankly, thinking I was joking. Even the viewers believed I was just putting on an act, but then I really sat down and played games with my son. The other guests thought my husband and I were faking drama for clout. Ratings dropped fast. The host warned if we fell below 10%, we would be eliminated. A psychologist even stood up to condemn me, saying my approach would ruin my child's future, and demanded the show be stopped. The set fell into chaos, the host was torn, and the producers sided with my husband. No one believed in me, but slowly the viewers were moved by the laughter between me and my son. Someone commented, "It's been so long since I've seen a kid laugh like that when I showed my professional gaming skills and won the match." Even an esports coach watching the stream was amazed, seeing that my ratings skyrocketed, and the comment section was filled with praise. Soon it was lunchtime, but my husband doubted my cooking, since he remembered I never cooked before. Viewers waited eagerly, then panicked when they saw me preparing pufferfish, because if handled wrong, it could be deadly. The guests thought I had lost my mind. My husband was so nervous he almost called the police, but my skilled knife work left everyone speechless. Some even suspected I was a 5-star chef in disguise. My husband still tried to call for help, but by then our son had already eaten, and not only was he fine, he smiled and said it was delicious. My husband finally relaxed watching the sweet scene between us. He couldn't understand why I had changed so much, but he was sure my act wouldn't last long. That afternoon, our son had a traditional painting assignment, but he kept procrastinating and even said